Thank you for joining us today. My name is Lena. I'm a product marketer here at Atlassian, and I'm super excited to welcome Jakob and Eva from PUMA, as well as Sascha from Atlassian, who will be moderating this fireside chat about how PUMA is using Confluence and Jira in the cloud and why they decided to switch to premium and enterprise in the respective products. So please give it up for our speakers.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, perfect. So, hello everyone. Thank you for the introduction, Lina. So happy to have you all here, and I'm very proud to have today Jakob and Eva with me. Let me introduce myself quickly. So my name is Sascha. I'm an account manager for Atlassian, mainly working together closely with PUMA. I support them since 1.5 years, and coming from Amsterdam all the way here. I hope you will enjoy the session, and yeah. Let's give it a go. I hand it over to Eva first to do the introduction.
Hi guys, I'm Eva Marschall from Germany, with PUMA since 6 years now, and I'm the team head in the area of digital workplace at PUMA from Global IT. Yeah, I started at PUMA 6 years ago in the area of e-com and did quite a journey through the company, ended up in IT. And yeah, PUMA is a great place to work. It's a lot of fun, young people driving for innovations, lots of digital drive in the company. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, and Jakob from my team is here with me.
Thank you, Eva. My name is Jakob. I'm IT project manager, also in the Digital Workplace Solutions team at PUMA. And yeah, happy to be here today. We are also based in Herzog in the headquarters, and driving all the collaboration tools, mainly teamwork and collaboration is my area.
Perfect. So yeah, if you may ask, why are we here today? So the main reason is in my work with other customers in Germany and in the German-speaking region, I've seen a lot of interest in how can Microsoft and Atlassian work perfectly and better together. So I hope you will all get more information about how you can improve the way of working in terms of Microsoft and Atlassian. And yeah, let's kick it off. As you both said, you're working in a digital workplace team at PUMA. Could you explain a little bit more about what exactly means digital workplace at PUMA?
Yeah, the Digital Workplace Solutions team is part of Global IT at PUMA headquarters in Herzogenaurach. And our goal is to provide the right tool stack for all our users using digital tools on a daily basis in their daily work. We strive for creating a tool chain that basically helps them to do all their daily work. We divide that digital workplace in 3 different areas. We have the area of communication and intranet, portal solutions, so basically all the tools that help share information, do knowledge management within the company. Then we have business process automation, which allows to drive for more automations in processes that are not the core processes of PUMA doing business, but really supporting processes. And then the third big part is the area of project management and teamwork.
And this is where my area comes in. So teamwork and collaboration, mainly driven by project management tools, but also whiteboard solutions, for example. Back then, or also still now, we are mainly using Microsoft tools, so meaning Planner, for example, or also Microsoft Teams. There we had also a big project.
So we get what digital workplace means for PUMA, but why in general has PUMA decided to build this team as is? Like, how would you describe the journey in terms of what was the need for PUMA to build this digital workplace team?
The digital workplace team was introduced basically to bridge the gap between IT and our users on the business user side. We felt that it's not enough to just throw out tools at our users and tell them, hey, this is what you should do, without giving any guidance, without driving adoption. So the main purpose of our team is really to stay in contact with the users, understand their user needs, understand how they struggle on a daily basis, and then to find the right tools to solve their problems. We give trainings, we're in direct contact with them, we open communities to ask questions and allow them to also learn from each other, but also learn from us. We always keep an eye on the market. That's also why we're here today, to see what's out there. Can we kind of optimize our tool chain? Can we add more tools in there? Is there stuff that we need to talk about in terms of IT security to make sure that we are not bringing tools or that they are not using tools that are not approved from our compliance point of view? But basically to really bridge the gap between business and IT. That's why our team was introduced as part of global IT. I think one of the examples that tells best why we have that team is the project that Jakob will describe.
So the project is called Connected PUMA. It was a big initiative back then about releasing Microsoft Teams at PUMA globally. Yeah, so a big initiative including a lot of stakeholders from different areas, from different regions as well. And for us, it is important that we don't just release an application or something new, that we also see, okay, what is the potential of it, and also drive the adoption then and the marketing of it. This is crucial for us. That's why we also build everything around it. Yeah. So starting with some super users that we had here, also working as multipliers within the regions and areas, going further then to roll out the application step by step. And that's how we did it with Connected PUMA and also with Microsoft Teams. Continued from that point on also to create different things like guidelines and how-tos and so on. Yeah, so just lower the entry barriers also for the end users in the end. And yeah, that's a story of Connected PUMA and something what we did in the past and still do.
Perfect. Thank you. Let's have a closer look at the Atlassian journey at PUMA. I'm working closely together with you since 1.5 years, but the journey with the Atlassian tools has started in 2018. When we talk about cloud, when we talk about the on-premise environment, it was a little bit earlier. Also, when we talk about cloud, Germany, all the German customers mainly say, okay, cloud, that's dangerous, that's risky. So you're kind of a pioneer when it comes to working in cloud in a very modern environment. So you're fully on cloud since 2018. Can you, from your experience working at PUMA, working with the Atlassian tools, tell a little bit more about the journey behind the curtains, how you have experienced working with the Atlassian tools in your time?
Sure. So we took over the Atlassian toolchain 1.5 years ago now. As mentioned also in the beginning, we are mainly using Microsoft tools, so this was something that is completely new for us. We were, let's say, extending the digital workplace in that place. And what we needed to do first of all is to get an overview about everything. Yeah, it was new, it was something challenging also for us. And after getting this overview, we established different things like a support structure, the exchange also with the departments in the end, with power users from different regions, because they had already some knowledge and we wanted to collaborate with them further. Yeah, and as we did it with other projects, we also started to create guidelines and how-tos and things like that, just that the people, the users, are aware about what we have in place with the new tools inside the digital workplace, and also how to use them. Yeah, because it was also new for them, and we wanted to bring it close to them and give them really best practices as well.
Sounds interesting. And in terms of the decision process, so you said 1.5 years, since 1.5 years you are managing the tools, but can you also, Eva, from your experience from the user side, can you explain a little bit more why PUMA has decided for the Atlassian tools in general in the first place?
Yeah, as you mentioned, I can speak to that from a user perspective. Back then in 2018, I was part of the global e-com team at PUMA, and we had the main challenge to basically provide a tool that, or use a tool that helps us to work closely together with external development partners. Many of the agencies we work with together were already used to working with Jira, for instance, and Confluence. And then on the other hand, on the other side of the chain, basically to also get the regional e-com teams on board. And the Atlassian toolchain was a great choice to make sure we can foster communication, foster teamwork, make sure that information is shared also across all the different departments in e-com. And as this is a very technical part of PUMA's business, that's where it started.
And from your perspective, in this current setup with the Atlassian tools, from an Atlassian tool perspective, what are the benefits and challenges you see at the moment in your daily work?
So extending the digital workplace means a lot, because we had already tools in place, yeah. But for example, if we talk about project management, they were more for the basics. Like if you think about planner, basic Kanban boards, for example, they were just for the basics. But there are also needs, of course, for doing extended project management. And this is where, for example, Jira comes in, yeah. And Jira is then really for the extended project management, and this is something we didn't have before, and that's why it's so crucial. And in the end, the user has also the choice then which tool to use, yeah, and depending on the needs and requirements that they have.
Yeah, when it comes to challenges, I think that's probably the same with every other company. We need to fight shadow IT. We need to make sure that people are aware of the tools that are out there that we offer. So we need to do constant marketing. We need to do trainings. We need to offer information. We offer these guidelines on how to. But the main challenge is also to connect with the users before they start using another tool and before they kind of sign up for something that is outside of our tool chain and then therefore also outside of our compliance and our IT security. So this constant reach out to our users, talking to departments that are usually fostering collaboration within PUMA quite a lot, are HR or learning teams and so on. So they use our tools on a daily basis. So we are in close contact with them to make sure that they use the right tools.
Let's look a little bit more closer to the Atlassian tools. Almost 1 year ago, you've decided to upgrade, especially as a first step, the Jira Standard version to the Enterprise version. Could you explain a little bit more why you from PUMA have decided to do this upgrade from Standard to Enterprise, especially for the Jira part?
Yeah, as you mentioned, as we started, we were on Jira Standard. That was a great start, and Jira offered a lot of solutions for us. But getting bigger, getting more of our core processes in there, like many different projects were managed throughout the tool chain. So we needed to make sure that that data is protected. We also needed to make sure that in case something happens, that we have the right uptime, that we can make sure that the service is always there and that we don't face any issues. So at some point, Standard was just not enough. We need to make sure to follow our compliance standard that we upgrade. So that's when the whole discussion about what is the ideal setup for Jira at PUMA started.
Yeah, it was also a little bit surprising for me that PUMA is running on Standard because of the mentioned reasons in terms of governance. And also, if we look a little bit more on the feature side, what kind of benefits, besides obviously the governance part, do you see or have you seen by the enterprise plan?
Mm-hmm. So what we did basically is that we splitted the whole instance into 3 sites. Yeah. So for the biggest audiences that we had, that was ecom in our case, and also Buso, business solutions, and also then let's say the remaining part that we have. Yeah. So 3 big sites in the end, where we split it up. The reason for that was, for example, the partial licensing that was available then, so that we said, okay, on one side we have specific plugins that are not needed on the others, and then also depending on the access, of course, you get the plugins that you really need and not something that you don't need. On the other hand, there are also the additional enterprise features that come in, that are also crucial. If we talk, for example, about guaranteed uptime that we didn't have before, or for example, also the sandbox feature, just the testing, which is so crucial. That was before also on a separate site, is now on the sandbox as we have it with enterprise. And then also things like archiving, for example, of projects, or the unlimited storage. Big benefits that we have now with the upgrade, and looking forward to more to come.
As we discussed, so this upgrade happened almost 1 year ago, and if you look at your daily work today and compare it to the daily work of 1 year before, what kind of improvements did you see in your daily work by this upgrade?
Just taking the example, for instance, of license renewal. So we need to make sure we buy into the right licenses on an annual base. And just by establishing all these processes and governance that Jakob has described already, we are in close contact with the different key users on the different sites that we have. By that, we can understand how they are using the tools, what is their daily need, how are they planning to increase or to develop on the different sites, so how many users will we have in future, what does that mean for our license purchase. So just being closer to our own instance, understanding it better, understanding the ins and outs of it, also understanding how it's used by our users, what are the different apps that we have on our tool chain, also understanding what alternatives are there coming from Atlassian themselves, but also are there maybe apps that we have for the same use case? So can we standardize? Can we establish more automations to just make sure we use the tool chain to the best efficiency?
Okay, and just out of curiosity, as you are both here, what kind of new features that were released or mentioned on the keynote? Is there anything that was catching your interest?
There are definitely some highlights, especially for the collaboration area. It's the whiteboard solution that comes in Confluence, super interesting stuff, but also the automations. I think it has a huge potential and looking forward to see more about that.
Also looking, as you just mentioned, looking to the future, and you both are managing the digital workplace team, besides the other tools like the Microsoft tools for digital workplace. I mean, it's very ambitious, a lot of time is consuming in terms of maintaining and enabling users and so on and so forth. So you did great so far, but also looking into the future to foresee how the Atlassian tools and everything that is related to the digital workplace team and the needs, how do you foresee especially the growth, and how do you manage to foresee this growth and manage everything related to that growth?
That's one of the reasons why we're here, right? To understand what's coming, to understand how the tools we're using can integrate with each other, because that's one of the things that I mentioned before, right? It's not 100% seamless between the two worlds, Microsoft and Atlassian, and that's definitely something we're looking forward to make sure that we can use our toolchain to the fullest by making sure we integrate the different tools. As Jakob mentioned, there's a lot of cool stuff coming in that direction, also in terms of automation and AI, and that's of course the future, also for us. I think that's mostly it.
Okay, and also in regards to the close collaboration between PUMA and Atlassian, where do you see, or how has this improved your work with the Atlassian tools in the last? In the 1.5 years we worked together?
Yeah, I think a lot has changed because we have monthly exchanges with the customer success manager that are regular based, and gives us a lot of insights also, because we get reports about our instance, how it looks like, where we can maybe also improve, maybe also learning more about new features that were released, things like that. So really crucial for us, but we have also closer contact to the product groups. Yeah, so giving also us the possibility to gain more insights here about specific topics. And also in the end, that's why we are here today. Yeah, so we have really a great collaboration with Atlassian, and really happy about that, and really enjoying the conference as well.
Great to hear. We're talking about now, and I'm also very interested about the future, based on your impressions, what you were just mentioning. But if you are thinking, I don't know, 3 years ahead, where do you see, how does it evolve the Atlassian world at PUMA, the digital workplace team? If you just could paint a picture a little bit for us and the audience.
Well, listening to the keynote of the last few days, I'm not sure if anybody can predict 3 years from now. That's quite the challenge. There's so much going on. I think for us, PUMA is forever faster, right? So we try to automate, we try to be more efficient, we try to use the tools and everything we do in the most efficient way. And the goal is really to also make the digital workplace forever faster. So everything that talks about AI to help our PUMAs improve, but also get more automations onto the platform, maybe combining different tools that are out there. There's some great stuff we've heard about. So I think 3 years from now we will sit here and we'll be forever faster in Atlassian for sure. But yeah, difficult to predict for sure.
Anything to add from your side, Jakob?
I think it was summarizing everything super nice. So in the end, what we want to do is, of course, to make our digital workplace even more digital, as Eva just described, with all the automations, all the new features, as we can also now do a step back and really look into everything. Yeah, so we have now really also the possibility to be here and really have the hands-on, see the live demos, and also think how we can adapt that into digital workplace.
Yeah, I think we all got a very good overview about your daily work and also what you are planning to do in the future. Could you also just tell us a little bit more about what was the benefit for you also in terms of the conference, the keynotes, but also collaborating with others, talking to others? Are there any kind of takeaways for you why this event is so valuable for you as well?
I think one of the big benefits going into conferences like this is to talk to different customers, even from different industries, completely different products, different setup, but somehow still similar problems. So we talked to colleagues from Europe, especially from Germany. When it comes to data security, we're facing the same challenges. We talked to customers here in the US with a similar industry, and it's on the one hand, it's ensuring ourselves that we're on the right track and that we're doing the right things. That some things where we feel we struggle a lot, we notice that others are struggling even more. So that gives us some confidence. But then also, of course, it's just fascinating to see the different partners that are out here and the different vendors of apps that we can integrate. I mean, of course, you can't do everything, but we can just get some inspiration and learn what is possible and how we can be even more efficient within the Atlassian tool chain.
Also summarizing it quite good. In the end, what we also do is, for example, that we introduced an Atlassian roundtable at PUMA. So what we do internally here is something that we can also do here with the colleagues from other companies. And that is also giving us a lot of insights directly, and also the whole exchange is really beneficial for us in the end.
I think that, I mean, we work pretty quick, so that is bringing us almost...
Forever faster.
Yeah, forever faster. So it's bringing us to the end, because I think we have understood your current challenges, and I think, the improvement of the Atlassian tools and bringing these worlds together, the Microsoft world, the Atlassian world together, has even made it possible to increase the adoption of the Atlassian tools, because also from an Atlassian perspective, it's like a competitive situation, but I really see and really understand and enjoy working with you, and how this collaboration between the Microsoft world and Atlassian world brings both worlds in a better place, let's say, and helps us to develop everything in the right direction. So as a last sentence, any wishes from your side in terms of Atlassian? What can we do better maybe in the future to just obviously learn from your experience?
What we definitely want to do is to continue that collaboration together with Atlassian directly. That exchange is giving us a lot of pros in the end, and we really love it. And I think all the features that are coming up, we are really looking forward to that one as well, and trying to adapt them also in our company at PUMA.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I think one of the biggest learning is that it's always nice to collaborate online and to have calls and discuss things. But in the end, it's a game changer to be here, to talk to people, to see each other face to face, and to really discuss for several days and pick each other's brains. That was a great experience.
Perfect. Nice to hear. So I thank you both, Jakob, Eva, for being here and sharing your experience with Atlassian. And thank you, everyone.